If you didn't happen to watch the Stacky Award show hosted by yours truly, you likely missed a very important category, which was topic I hope to never see covered again on YouTube. And the winning topic was confiscation. Unfortunately, confiscation seems to be like a game of whack-a-mole, where every time you knock it down in one area, it pops up in another one. Sadly, for years, confiscation, particularly of gold, has been a very popular topic on YouTube. No matter how many reasonable and responsible creators take their turn at whacking the mole, confiscation pops up again, and someone is over there twisting themselves into a pretzel trying to justify how gold confiscation could happen again. Recently, the conversation has shifted to pre-33 gold, with a number of people using it as a sales gimmick to drive up the price on pre-33 gold. While I hope that I would never have to cover confiscation again, I find myself covering it because the good Lord's got a sense of humor. How is that? Well, not that long ago, I was at my gold LCS when I saw an 1880 $5 Blvd head. He rarely has pre-33 gold, so I was absolutely interested. I asked him about it and he immediately said, "You don't want that coin." "Yes, I do," I said. "I'd love to get my hands on some more pre-33 gold." He replied, "It costs too much." I said, "It's okay, I'm willing to pay a little extra." He said, "No." He takes the coin from me and says, "I'm not gonna sell it to you." I said, "What?" And in his surly, loud voice, "You heard me," as he put it away. I said, "But you've sold me a St. Gaudens before and a similar Liberty head coin before. I don't understand." He replied, "And how much did that charge you in premium?" Eventually, I pulled up my buying sheet in Google Drive and I saw that I paid an 8.8% premium on the Liberty head and a 3.6% premium on the St. Gaudens. And then he told me that the premium he is now charging is closer to 24%. He told me the real problem is that their dealers are out there scamming people with fear-mongering techniques and saying if everything collapses and the government comes for your gold, pre-33 would be exempt. Because of that, premiums have gotten ridiculous. While I think this argument of confiscation is total horsebucky, I do think it's important that we share the facts, and hopefully this video puts an end to the conversation forever. The first 4 points are the points that you've likely heard, so I'm going to cover them really quickly. Number one, let me be clear. I am not anti-pre-33 gold at all. There are actually really good reasons to own pre-33 gold, all of which have nothing to do with confiscation. Second, the government isn't coming for our gold because all they need is a printing machine, paper, and ink. They don't need our gold. And soon, their printing presses won't even matter because they're going to be trying to push us into these central bank digital currencies. Number three, gold was quote unquote confiscated at that time because we were on the gold standard. We were using gold as money and the government needed our gold in order to expand the money supply. All of that went out the window with Nixon in '71. Number four, they never went door to door confiscating gold. It was completely voluntary. It was also a straight hustle because immediately they revalued gold up to $35 afterwards. Also, only one fake martyr was ever arrested in association with this executive order. Okay, now that we got those out of the way, let's also play this little game of what if we went to a gold-backed or gold-based currency and the government needed gold? Let's just pretend for a moment, and I'll still show you why they won't come for our gold, pre-33 or not. Number five, it would be an incredible undertaking to find the 1/2 of 1% of us that hold physical gold. Six, why would they come after the 0.5% of us when they could just as easily go over and confiscate all the gold and silver from those ETFs? Those funds have specific language that allows the ETF to pay people out with fiat instead of allowing them to redeem it for gold. Plus, many of those people don't really ever expect to get gold back in return anyway. Those holdings are far more significant than what they would get from the 0.5% of us, especially since so many of us have boating accidents in our community. It's très bizarre, I know. Okay, you still aren't convinced? Okay, number seven. Everyone seems to ignore or fail to do their own research because on December 31st, 1974, President Ford repealed Roosevelt's 1933 executive order. Big deal, it's just an executive order. Aha. That same day, Congress voted to restore America's right to own gold, which was codified in 93-373. Look it up. Meaning, to change the fact that we can own gold, Congress would have to go and vote in the House and in the Senate before they could actually change the law, instead of simply writing a presidential executive order like Roosevelt did in 33. Oh, okay, you want more? I'll give you one more. How about on October 28th, 1977, Congress removed the president's authority to regulate gold transactions during a period of national emergency other than war. That's the only time. While we're debunking myths, let's be clear that while there is a finite number of these coins, pre-33 gold is actually not as rare as American promoters hype it to be. What do I mean? Well, the confiscation of gold in 1933 was only in the US. It did not extend to the rest of the world. Take a look at this slide and you will see comments about how coins not being considered rare and large numbers of these coins existing abroad in Europe. From where I sit, confiscation of any metal of any age of any form is simply nonsense. And while I say that, I'm also reminded of Mike Maloney's words from his book, Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver. Quote, confiscation all comes down to this. The government makes the rules, changes the rules, and enforces the rules. Though it lacks the moral right, it can create the legal authority. Though it lacks the constitutional empowerment, it can turn a blind eye to the Constitution. The Constitution did not stop the government from taking people's gold in 1933. To me, pre-33 gold should serve as a reminder to make rules that are completely unfair to us as the citizens. And that if we are not watchful and relentless about demanding or protecting our rights, things like this can happen. While it's true we're not on a gold standard, it's also true that if a crisis gets bad enough, any and all viable solutions could be on the table. As such, the risk of gold confiscation is not zero, but it's also not enough to cause me to lose sleep or discuss other than on the YouTube video. Hands down, I am far more concerned about some bad guy or woman trying to forcefully take my gold than I am about government confiscation. Buy pre-33 gold because you like it, you want some American history, or any other reason that you have. But not because the salesperson is blowing smoke in the dark orifice in your body. That's not the case. That doesn't guarantee that your gold will be safe. In the comments section, do you own any pre-33 gold? If so, what did you buy? And what do you think about this idea of confiscation? All myth, all legend, or possibility? Do you think it will ever happen again? If nothing else, give yourself an A+ in the comments for watching this video all the way through, because you are always my A+ students. Always stack smarter and never stop learning.